Okay kids, last week we made chicken stock and I promised you that I'll show you what to do with it. So we're going to do risotto. Risotto is a kind of a soup which, as the name suggests, requires rice. The rice you need is an Italian style rice called arborio. There are other types of this Italian rice, but this is the simplest, most available rice for this particular recipe. Here in Mildura it's a bit hard to get. I don't usually give a plug to shops, but I have to say that if you want this you have to go to Fisher's or the new IGA here on Deakin Avenue. Okay, forget I said that. Very simple process, but you got to get it right. So a pot, a little bit of olive oil, and first of all you fry the base, which is some onions and garlic there. So I'm going to make probably about 4 or 5 portions. Now when you make risotto you may as well make a larger quantity, because what's left over can be reheated, no problems. I even eat it cold during the summertime, and you can recycle it in again. If you got some chicken stock left over, you just put the cold risotto in a bowl and then pour super hot stock over it and you get a soup. You know, when you're out there studying, you need quick meals, nutritious meals, interesting meals. So here we go. We fry off the onions. Usually for a risotto you can use a whole heap of different ingredients. The risotto that are vegetable based, like the one today, I have some mushroom and some zucchini, or it can just be mushroom or just zucchini. You can do it with onions, with potato. You can just do it and flavor it with a bit of cheese. And when I was poor, I used to put on a pot of water, put a few herbs that I found along the street, like bay leaf or rosemary, and flavor the water with that, and then make a very simple risotto with onions. I mean, the sky's the limit. If you want a super posh risotto, you can do it with fish, particularly prawns, scallop, all that sort of stuff. But that's probably too complicated and maybe a little bit expensive. Making quick meals, this is it. You just use a few veggies, all right? Carrots, celery, anything, chuck it in and you'll get a good flavoursome meal. So here I'm frying off the onions. You don't have to fry them a great deal because rice is like a sponge. It will absorb the onions, and by the time it's finished cooking, everything is integrated well. Okay? And remember, just as we're waiting for this to develop, that the stock is made with onions, celery, carrots, chicken wings, pinch of salt, a few peppercorns. That's the base, and you get a really fragrant, beautiful, look at that golden stuff. As long as you go slowly, you don't boil it, as I said, otherwise it goes rather gluggy, grey, fatty. Okay, so onions are in there. Let's say that look at this little bowl here. Let's say that 2 of these will give you 4 portions. Okay, 1. So at this stage, the onion and the rice are together. You can hear the sound of the rice. In the jargon they say it's being toasted. Okay, this is a very critical process to make sure the onions and the rice are together. Okay, and once you have done that, sometimes put a little bit of white wine, but we'll skip that today. It's too early in the morning. Hear that? Beautiful. So you start adding the stock. A risotto is a dish that is made slowly by adding the stock to the rice a bit at a time. So you give time to the rice to absorb it, then you add some more, and then some more, and then some more. There are different styles. There's some people who like it very, very kind of dry. There are some, like me, who prefer it to be a little bit loose. But I'll show you as we go along. So initially the rice is so dry and so thirsty that it absorbs the stock quite quickly, right? So you can be a little bit generous with your liquid at the beginning, and then you slow down as you go along. It's nice and bubbly, it's dried up, so we put some more stock and a good stir. A little bit at a time, as I said. See, every time it goes, it looks like it's going dry, or you break it down again with some more stock. Now, I've already cooked this mushroom and this zucchini, and I like to put them in pretty much at the beginning, so by the end all the flavors are well integrated. So that's probably one full zucchini, and there is a couple of large mushrooms. Those large ones tend to go a little bit dark when you cook them, but great flavor, don't worry about it. Just pop it in. Some people put it in from the start. I prefer to cook the vegetable separately. And some more stock. See, kids, how the risotto is bubbling away at a nice speed. You don't want it too slow. You don't want it super fast either. You have to be able to control it. And you have to stir it all the time. That's the critical other important information, so that you get the creaminess at the end, because there's a lot of starch attached to the rice. And by rubbing the rice, by stirring it continuously, then you release that lovely stickiness. That's the distinctive mark of a risotto. But you know, I'm not fast. If you can't be bothered and you just add the stock and you boil it, you end up with a soup rather than a classic risotto. But they're both good. And often, you know, my mother didn't have time to stir the pot for 25 minutes or so. So she just put it all on and walked away. Hey, it's just a lovely, nutritious dish anyway. The main thing is to have very good chicken stock. Of course, if you're vegetarian, you make a vegetable stock. Make sure you've got the salt, the peppercorn, all the ingredients to make it flavoursome. The other bit of information that's useful to know, rice is celiac friendly. So you can sort of have all the combinations here. You can be vegetarian, you can be celiac. You can, you know, rice is so versatile, it can accommodate all sorts of situations. After about 20 minutes of continuous stirring and adding a bit of stock and stirring and adjusting for taste with a bit of salt, a bit of pepper, this is what it looks like. As you can see, it's runny, but it's not super gluggy, right? See that? In fact, I can probably add just a little bit more, just like that. Okay? So at this point, I know it's ready. I've tasted it. The rice is not too soft. Otherwise it becomes like baby food. Like pasta, even rice has to be cooked a little bit al dente, on the tooth. Right? It's just right. Okay? Now, for the final act, you know, this Parmesan cheese has gone almost in every recipe we've done, and good one is quite expensive. Now, you don't actually have to put it in if you don't want to. I find that dish totally satisfying as is, but if you want to make it richer, just put some cheese in it, there, and also if you want to, again, not necessary at all, but a nice dollop of butter will also make it more creamy. You know, this is a dish of very humble origins from the north of Italy, and more often than not, it's just very simple, just rice and a little bit of flavoring. So there it is. And look, there are about 4 or 5 serves in there. It's It smells really fragrant. It's a wonderful, nutritious dish with a little salad. You're done and dusted. Look, I put some parsley on top because I like the flavor of freshly chopped herbs. And there it is, a beautiful mushroom and zucchini risotto. It all started with chicken wings. No big deal, not expensive. A bit of onion, a bit of mushroom, a bit of whatever you've got handy. Okay, just use your imagination. Now, I'll show you something else this way. We want to show you what you can do with the chicken stock. Remember, the chicken wing come out of the stock. That's what they look like. There is also some onion, and I put full carrot and some celery. Well, this shouldn't go to waste. So what you do, you chop it up and you make a salad. I'll make a little one just to show you. This is often the part that I, as a child, loved the most. So, coarsely cut the veggies, even the celery, the stringy old celery, I just love it. It seems to me it is a pity to throw this stuff away. Like that. Look at that. Johnny, can you please get me some vinegar? And see, out of the chicken wing you get some good flesh. That's protein. There's nothing wrong with it. You can leave the skin behind, but you can extract lovely bits of meat. I'm just doing it fast. See that? I mean, there's a mountain here. You can make a great big bowl of it and keep it in the fridge and dress it as you need it. So there's the meat and the veggies. You get a pinch of salt. A pinch of salt. Oh, Johnny has put some parsley here. Just some fresh parsley, if you have it. There's nothing more beautiful than leaves of basil or parsley to liven up a dish and give you lots of flavor. We put oil and a touch of vinegar. What have we got here? A little bit of red wine vinegar. Nothing wrong with that. Bit of balsamic in this case, but whatever you have, white vinegar, red wine vinegar, lemon juice. Lemons are damn expensive at the moment. And there it is. Now, don't disregard that. There's so much flavor in those boiled veggies, and a lot of flavor still in the meat of the chicken wing. So, out of very little money, you got 2 meals. Plus, you still have leftover stock. And you can keep going for days with no more than $10. All right? Enjoy it. Buon appetito.